Saudi Arabia has been an influential player in the Middle East for decades. The country is a major producer of oil and gas, and it has used its economic power to influence regional affairs. Saudi Arabia's unification plan could lead to partitioning of Iraq and Syria. Saudi Arabia's plan to unite the Middle East is ambitious, but it may be too ambitious for its own good. Its goals are to unify Iraq and Syria under Saudi-backed leadership, as well as contain Iran's influence in the region by bringing Shia Muslims into the fold. Russia and Turkey are strong allies with Iran in the region. Saudi Arabia's plan would isolate Saudi Arabia from its powerful regional allies. The United States has also been staunchly against Saudi Arabia's plans for Yemen because it is threatening the stability of Yemen. Saudi Arabia has also been a crucial U.S. ally in both Yemen and in Syria, but has relied on the U.S. to counter Iran there as well as provide support for Saudi policies in Iraq and Syria. For unification with Yemen, and Russia and Turkey will look to Iran for support. What is going on in the Middle East? Saudi Arabia's plan for union with Yemen has put Russia and Turkey into a position of supporting Iran. How is Saudi Arabia's plan for union with Yemen going to affect Syria? Saudi Arabia has been accused of interfering in the internal affairs of Syria, as well as violating international law. The Saudis have also been accused of supporting ISIS and al-Qaeda against the Syrian government. What will happen if Saudi Arabia and Iran form an alliance to help Syria? As I mentioned before, Russia has also been accused of meddling in Syria's affairs. The Saudis have been supporting ISIS and al-Qaeda against the Syrian government. So if they form an alliance with Iran, it will be like a complete cluster in the region. The Russians have also been accused of meddling in Syria's affairs. The Saudis and Russians are both allies of Syria, so they might form an alliance to help out. The Syrian civil war. Syria is a country in the Middle East. It is bordered by Lebanon and Israel to the north, Jordan to the east, and Turkey to the south. Syria has been in a civil war since 2011, when protests against President Assad turned into an armed rebellion. Currently, Syria's government controls only 1/3 of its territory. The main fighting between pro-government forces and rebel groups is in Syria's west, where the government is trying to recover territory lost to the rebels. The Syrian government has set up military checkpoints throughout Syria, including in Damascus and Aleppo. These checkpoints often lead to violence against civilians. Since 2011, the government has cracked down on protesters, leading to mass arrests and torture. In 2015, the Syrian government recaptured Aleppo. At least 2 million people have fled Syria as a result of violence since 2011. The US, Turkey, Saudi Arabia and Israel have all been involved in Syrian conflict in one way or another. Syria's unrest began in 2011 with the Arab Spring, a period of political unrest beginning with the self-immolation of Tunisian street vendor Mohamed Bouazizi, and resulting in the overthrow of several long-serving authoritarian governments. Final thoughts on Saudi Arabia's unification. For decades, Saudi Arabia has been a kingdom divided. Now, the country is finally uniting under one government. This is a historic event for the country and for the region. It will be interesting to see how this unification will affect the future of Saudi Arabia and its people. Many analysts share the same aspirations, but some see a warning in Saud's decision. If it was done for geopolitical reasons, then this unity may not last long. More importantly, there are questions about the legitimacy of the royal family as head of state and its ability to rule. In this sense, Article 1 of Saudi Arabia's current constitution enshrines the absolute power of the king and his position as the divinely ordained leader, arbiter of justice, and source of legislation. Saudi Arabia has a long-standing tradition of honoring their ancient holy cities, Mecca and Medina, by building mosques on their premises. The Great Mosque in Mecca is one such example. It is one of the largest mosques in the world with a capacity of 2,000 worshippers at a time and is one of the holiest places in Islam, which includes a series of symmetrical halls around what is called the Great Square of Islam. It is one of the holiest places in Islam and it also houses Al-Masjid al-Haram. A structure that was destroyed by non-Muslim conquerors is rebuilt according to their will. And then they make a claim that the reconstructed building was originally theirs. The second one is a gate of prostration in the mosque. Muslim jurists and scholars agree that the reconstruction of any part of the building is prohibited because it was originally built by non-Muslims and it is not permitted for Muslims to reconstruct anything on what was originally built. The prohibition also applies to reconstructing the original square according to their will, which is considered a great sin. The reconstruction of the Mosque of King Fahd is a sin because the original building is not permitted to be reconstructed. History of the mosque before the reconstruction in 1992. When the construction of the original mosque was commissioned by Fazlullah ibn Ali, the governor of the city who was appointed by Sadat as Sultan. 2. The mosque has 3 naves and a courtyard for worshippers. 3. Inside, there is a minbar, pulpit, with Arabic calligraphy on it, and a mihrab, niche in the wall indicating the direction of Mecca. 4. The minbar is decorated with floral designs and mother-of-pearl inlay. 5. There are prayer halls for men on each side of the courtyard. Women pray in a separate section on the south side of the prayer room, formerly used as a school before being converted into a mosque. 6. To the east of the prayer room is a large courtyard with a well in the center. The mosque was renovated in 2006 and 2007, funded by Qatar, with new stained glass windows and installation of modern air conditioning technology. The mosque has a library on the south side of the courtyard, and there is a separate room for women's prayer. The building was renovated in the 1990s, and the renovation included a new metal roof for protection against earthquakes. Makkah Al-Mukarramah Mosque is open daily from 8 a.m. until 1 a.m. and is maintained by employees of Makkah Al-Mukarramah Mosque. The mosque contains 1 main prayer hall, and an additional 2 small rooms which are used as a library, and a broadcasting room. The main prayer hall contains a wooden pulpit, and the walls and ceiling are covered in marble. The library contains a collection of Islamic books, and the broadcasting room is used for weekly Friday evening religious lectures. The central dome of the domed building contains a grand green tile mosaic surrounded by inscriptions of Quranic verses about faith.